What is up, YouTube? On this episode, we're going to be talking Santa Clarita Diet.
And we're also going to have Dogmatic video with James Lamond and special guest Erica Looker.
Absolutely, and we're going to be talking about the iPhone shot Unsane. I'm Jay.
And I'm Bree.
And this is Dogmatic Media. Alright, so the new season of Santa Clarita Diet came on Netflix recently. Come on, you don't like that?
I don't like Drew Barrymore. First of all,
alright, I'll give you that.
I went through the first episode and couldn't get through it because
of her?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Just the way she was trying to portray herself, it was so fake. Like, the acting was so bad. She was trying so hard, and in general, she tried to be cutesy with her little voice, and it's just like, no. Why are you like that? Like, I can't.
But I think, if you progress past the first episode, I think that's part of the show. Like, it's a little bit overacting. The husband, Joel, Timothy Oliphant, fantastic. He is funny.
He's great.
He is hysterical.
I thought I would love it. Working real estate and then zombies, like that's so up my alley. And for me not to like it, that says something, dude. Like,
I will say, because I watched it the first season when it came out. And I remember thinking, like, after every song, like, there's something about the way she's talking. It's not a lisp, but it's like there's something
I just don't like her face or anything about her. She's just weird.
I rewatched season 1 and to start season 2, and I think it's fantastic. I love that show.
Hey.
I think it's hysterical. I'm only halfway through season 2, though, so.
I don't know.
All right. I give it 10 out of 13, and you obviously only watched one episode, so.
I'll give it like a 2, sure. I think it would be a great idea had it not been with Drew Barrymore, but whatever.
Well, I'll give that. I mean, but I think she's good in this. I really do.
I think she was only good in 50 First Dates. That was it.
I've never seen that movie. I hate Adam Sandler.
Shut up!
I don't like him at all.
Alright, so we're gonna fight. So, on that note...
He's the same character in every movie.
I don't care.
That's for a different show.
Yeah, anyways, on that note...
Watch Santa Clarita Diet.
Don't.
I say so. She says no. Whatever. Alright, we're going to get to James with our special guest, Erica Looker, for Dogmatic Video. Check it out.
What's going on, guys? This is James here with the Jamie Lee Curtis to my dime store, John Carpenter, Erica Looker, with your installment of Dogmatic Video for this episode. We don't have a lot of new movies coming out right now. It's getting to be the summer blockbuster season, so it's kind of slow in DVD world. But there were a couple of awesome HD remasters that came out in the past couple of weeks that we're talking about. If you guys don't know, there's a lot of companies out there right now like Scream Factory, Arrow Video, Eureka, that are just doing some like really cool stuff with bringing old horror movies into the HD era with 4K transfers and stuff like that. It's really cool. And the first movie that we're going to talk about today is probably one of our mutually favorite films. We learned this when we were working on One Last Kill, and me and her started raving about this film. Suspiria by the legendary Argento. Little context. The film came out in 1977, beyond ahead of its time. It was with the Italian bum rush, if you will, of horror in the mid to 70s to early 80s. And it was, I find the best part about this film for me is the story. It's tapping into the satanic panic of the era without being preachy about where that evil is coming from. It never notes on that. You know what I'm saying, Erica? Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this. You agree?
Yeah, I like it because, like the witchy aspect, but it does, it gives a different angle to the whole satanic ritual type stuff.
Absolutely.
Instead of like everything is so religious and, revolving around Jesus.
Yeah.
Where this, it's more like, it goes way back to this original witch and kind of stems from there.
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
The other thing that I loved about this movie for me was the soundtrack was so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
So ahead of its time. You're talking about like synth percussion, heavy like harpsichord, a lot of synth, a lot of things that just weren't being used in the 70s for soundtracking. And as a musician and a filmographer and all that stuff, it's really intriguing for me. It was like my favorite part. What was yours?
I really like the visuals. I mean, the color of it's so saturated. And I feel like, you know, modern horror is so dim, and it's a lot of like
Very
blues
bland,
and grays and browns, and it's, you know, they try to set the mood using that type of visual where it's very clear that Argento was taking a little bit of acid through this entire production because everything is so in your face, and it kind of, I don't want to say like uneasy, but it gives you that feeling like something ain't right here.
And
that's why I like it.
And I mean, building off of that too, the cinematography, like how he uses those colors and lighting and everything. It's a masterpiece. Like Argento, whether it's like The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, Deep Red, whatever movie Argento's doing, like he makes horror art.
Yeah.
And I think that's fantastic. I mean, the one negative, I guess I could say about the film really is just like the dub job.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell that the script was originally written in Italian, so, you know, it didn't translate over that well, and the acting showed that a little bit, but, I mean, either way, it was still, I love that movie. I could watch it every single day. If only, if it was on mute, I could just have that playing in the background all the time.
Well, not on mute. I need the soundtrack.
Well, soundtrack. I mean, if you could take out, like, the voices and just have the soundtrack playing with all the visuals, it's really fucking cool.
So out of 13, what would you give this movie?
I mean, this movie is so close to my heart, and as much as I hate, well, I wouldn't say hate, as much as I get a little annoyed with the acting and the whole translation over type thing, I mean, I gotta give it like a 10.
10?
I love it. Like,
no, I'm with you. I'm actually gonna give it a 10 too. I mean, for different reasons, but I think it's like right there. And I mean, it translated to high definition. Like, they did an awesome job.
And I think, you know, Argento's whole like art house horror type thing really showed with the whole HD remastering. I think it looked so much better. Made me love it all over again.
Precisely. That's why I wanted to review it. Next up this episode, we're going to talk about the HD remaster of one of my favorite slasher films of all time, Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. This movie originally came out in 2006. It stars virtual nobodies, directed by somebody that has not made a movie since, but it was an amazing film. So many cool cameos. I don't even know where to start. I mean, it's such, for me, the reason I like it so much is it's a smart slasher film.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
Because I feel like because it's kind of like a behind the scenes of slasher movies.
Precisely.
And I mean, I'm such a slasher person. I love it. So just getting that little glimpse of, I guess, like how and why they do it, it makes it like a fun horror movie.
Exactly.
A little bit.
Exactly. And then when they twist it,
yeah.
I mean, you see it coming from a mile
Yeah, it's
away.
a little obvious, but the twist is really like a aha moment, you know?
And also, like, on the cinematography scale, they switch, like, from that mockumentary style to a more cinematic slasher experience.
I loved that.
Right?
And normally I'm very... With all like found footage type stuff, and I know this isn't really like found footage, but like
it's close,
you know,
it's
like
close. Shaky
like
cam,
yeah, that type of thing. I'm usually very like, but I liked the way it started that way, and then it was like, you know, fuck it, and they shut the cameras off, but then it went to like real movie, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I like this little transition.
Yeah. I mean, and all the little horror celebrity cameos. I mean, you got. Forgive me, I don't know her name, but the short woman from Poltergeist.
This house is clean.
Oh my god, the second she was on screen, I was just like, I just love her.
Right? Robert Englund's in there, Kane Hodder's in there.
Oh yeah, even though Kane Hodder's in there for like a hot second, it's still like oh shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Loved it.
And then, what's his name? Oh, Scott Wilson from The Walking Dead.
Yes.
Played mentor Eugene. And
Yeah.
I thought that was like the best part of the movie. That's my favorite guy.
Yeah, I really liked him, and like how his wife is so like, yeah, like they're so into it, but in such a casual way where it's like, you know, as you're watching it, it's kind of like, you know, I kind of want to be this guy's friend, even though he's kind of doing some shady shit. Like, I'd be all for it. I'd be like, oh yeah, let's go kill some people.
I'm gonna tell you, for like a homicidal maniac, he had an awesome support system. He really
Oh,
did.
he really did. And like just his attitude, it always makes me think of Neil Patrick Harris as Barney Stinson wanting to be a serial killer.
Audience, say it with me. Legendary.
That's so accurate.
I think it's just
That's
like
so accurate.
he's just so like you want to be his friend, and you don't know why. 'Cause you're like, oh, you're doing like don't like
And then-
what you're doing,
but-
but like you're so
But that's
nice.
so perfect. But that's so perfect
Yeah.
because when it does flip on its ear and change up, it's like, oh, this just got dark. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's probably the strongest thing about the movie. If there was something I didn't like about the film, though, it would probably, I mean, not necessarily that I didn't like, but if I
Yeah.
feel like the audience out there in the internet world wouldn't like, is that the comedy relies very heavily on you knowing what's up with slasher movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for like demented people like us, yeah, it works out just fine because we watched a million of these movies. We know we can recite the rule book for you ourselves.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas someone who, you know, isn't really into horror movies, they watch it, I feel like things would just go
Yeah, exactly.
right over their head. And it's
Exactly.
kind of like, you know, it's like they might not like the movie, but it's like, no, like if you knew what that, like, what all
Yeah.
these little things were
you-
from, I feel like you'd appreciate it more.
Exactly. But if you are a slasher fan, it'll pan out well. And there was something you didn't like about the movie too, right?
So the main actress, I can't think of her name for the life of me, but just, I get the way she was acting, you know, it made sense for, in real life, a normal person who's not like a fucked up individual like us, but a normal person, you know, taking on this type of thing, you know, that's how they would act. And I thought, you know, she did that well, but it just irritated me because I'm like, just be his friend. Just help him. Just do it. And that's what really aggravated me about her. Not that she was a bad actress. I
No.
thought she played the part very well,
No,
but it's
she
just
was-
the whole point where, like, I'd want to be
Yeah.
his friend. Why don't you want to be his friend?
Yeah, exactly. She was playing it like a straight guy. She was doing she was doing her job. It was just not
Yeah.
for you.
Like, come on, he was so nice and he was funny and, like, he let you in on a secret.
yeah.
Like, come
exactly.
on.
So, okay, out of 13, what are you gonna give this one?
Oh god, it's so hard to say. I mean, besides the main actress, I really liked it. I'd give it like an 11, honestly.
It's a hard 12 for me.
Really?
Because I love that movie. I absolutely.
It's fun.
It's smart.
It's, you know,
It's funny. It's violent. It's got it all. It's a 12 from me. It's an 11 from her. That's gonna do it for us this week. Make sure that if you're digging what we're doing, like it, share it, comment, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think of Erica being on. And make sure you visit our sister channel over at It Came From the 508 Productions to check out the trailer for our new movie. I directed it. She stars in it. The Box. And I'll take you to Jay and Bree. You're sitting in with Jay and Bree too, right?
yes, I
Yeah,
am.
they're going to be talking about Unsane. Check you later.
All right, now we're going to be talking about Unsane. And the build-up for this movie is that it was filmed only on a iPhone 6, 7? Something. I don't know. Do we know?
7.
No? All right. So we saw this movie, and I was really excited for the whole iPhone thing. But then once you start seeing like the shots, you really don't even realize that it was shot on a phone.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you just, the first couple of shots, you're like, oh, this is cool. And then it just kind of goes away and you get sucked into the story.
I still don't believe that it was shot on an iPhone. Like, you can tell me that all day, but I look at it, I'm like,
It looks really
I have
good.
an iPhone
Yeah.
8 Plus, and nothing that I take a video of looks like that.
It looks
So,
really, well, they have like Hollywood editors.
Right.
well,
And all
yeah.
that bullshit. So
Did they say one iPhone or multiple
I would imagine
iPhones?
they have like 15 of them.
Right.
Everyone's just
exactly.
like holding it.
Yeah. On like tripods and all that shit. But-
Selfie sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole movie shot on a selfie stick. All right, so that's the technical part of it. What did we think of the story?
I
Let's
loved
start
it.
with- Really?
Okay. So, while I really liked the pace that it was going, I do feel like they kind of
Dragged it out?
not not even a little bit.
No.
They just kind of gave it away a little too soon.
That's exactly.
So it was kind of it took away from it a little bit, but I really liked the story. It was different.
Right.
And it wasn't
Stalker versus mind. Like, is this really happening?
Yeah.
It's not happening.
like you kind of didn't expect how it was gonna go at first, but then the way it without giving it away, the way it ended was
Right.
kind of like, oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, the build up before the reveal was good. Like, I was like, you're like, what the hell's going on? Is she crazy? Is this guy really stalking her? You have no idea what's
Right.
happening. And then, like, they blow their load. They tell you what's happening. And you're just like,
And you're just like, okay, so I guess I'll just watch till the end.
yeah.
but-
It ends like your cliched,
Horror
stalker
movie.
film.
Yeah, stalker.
Basically. So, I mean, it was good. I don't think it was worth the money, but
No?
I don't know. I really enjoyed it. Like, even though I thought it did, like, give it away a little too soon, I still wanted to watch it, and I liked it all the way till the end.
I started getting really antsy. Like, after, like, when she's in the padded room,
Yeah.
I was just like, come on, just fucking kill him or stab him or do something. I was getting
Right.
really antsy towards the end. So
My thing with that is I almost thought it was going to end there, and I got kind of annoyed for, like, a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, come on. Really?
Yeah.
Like, this is how you're going to end this whole... with all the build-up,
Yep.
and, like, even the cinematography of it was actually...
in that room, that was awesome. The way they were going
Yeah,
back
it
and
was
forth
really
with
cool. And through the whole movie, like, the shots they got, I really liked it.
Yeah,
That's why
absolutely.
I'm still like, that wasn't done on an iPhone. No fucking way. But,
But if it was done on iPhone, it was done spectacularly well.
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Shot extremely well. I didn't, like I said, halfway through the movie, I was into it, and then the last half, they lost me.
What do you think they could have done better?
Don't let the audience know what's happening. Like, keep us in the dark as to whether she's
Mentally
nuts
insane,
or
right.
there's really a guy stalking her. Like, they could have because that uneasiness, that's what was getting me through the first half.
They didn't, like, build enough suspense.
Right.
Right.
Like, they got it for a little bit, and then it was just they dropped the ball, and
Yep.
so it's like, you could have gone, like, a little bit longer.
Right.
Yep.
And, like, they wouldn't really have to change much.
Right.
But I just think there was only so much suspense in contrast to how they ended it.
Yeah.
So,
That makes sense.
I wish they would have dragged it out a little more, but
What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 13?
I would say like a 7.
Yeah, that's probably where I would go.
Yeah.
I'd land 7, 8, 8-ish range.
Yeah,
Right.
like it wasn't scary. It was more like psychological.
Yeah.
I
like
guess.
a thriller.
But I feel like, had they dragged it out more, I feel like it could have made it so
10
much
times
better
better.
and so much
Right.
more like
Absolutely.
mind-fucky.
Absolutely.
Right.
Whereas, they had it going for so long and you're like, oh yeah, I like the way this is going. And then it was like, boom, and you're like, oh,
Well, that's
really?
boring.
Like, I knew it was coming, but I didn't want it to...
It would have been so much better if they had, like, thrown in a, like, actual twist at the very end. Like, okay,
yeah.
wait. Or
That
it was
would've been
both. If it
Yeah,
was both.
that's what I was waiting
Right?
for. When it ended, I was just kind of like,
Oh, well, we already knew
that's
that.
it.
okay, like, I get it, but that's it.
Right.
But it was still good. I really liked it. It was a cool movie to watch.
It was. I would have rather waited till it comes on DVD.
Yeah.
Spent the money, but... So,
If you've seen it, we'd love to hear what you have to say about it.
what she said.
So,
We need you to like, subscribe, comment. Tell us what you think.
Argue with us.
Talk about the
Yes,
lovely
please.
Erica. She loves
She
comments
loves
about
to
her.
argue.
Yes.
She got her hair all done pretty and makeup all done for the show. So
Oh my god!
I'm just saying.
She's pretty, tell her.
She is very pretty. Well, we thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. This has been Bree and Jay, Dogmatic Media.